Okay, I hope everything's working. Let me double check here. La 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 la. La 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 la. Everything seems to be working. Okay. Anyhow, uh, I did this video yesterday and it disappeared, and I still haven't been able to find out where it went or what happened. So, uh, hopefully this one it's gonna work out all right. But you know, this is YouTube. What the hell's going on now? Okay. All right. Everybody's okay. Everything's all right. Good Lord. I hope everything's all right. Here we go back here. Try this again. Um, la la da 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 da. Dee, 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 dee. Okay. Having a lot of problem getting set up this morning. You're just going to have to bear with me, or you can change the channel. All right. Okay. It appears that everything is functioning as it should at this moment. We'll wait and see what happens. All right. So what's going on? Social Security is being attacked subtly and backdoor wise. I've gone over that before. Those Trump accounts are designed to destroy replace Social Security, to privatize it. Not a good idea. But we'll wait and see what happens. You know, messing with Social Security is usually the death knell of a politician, and hopefully this will be the death knell of the politician known as Donald Trump. He's not a politician, by the way. He's a con artist and a thief, but we'll wait and see what happens with that. All right, moving upward and onward again. There's no money around for a lot of things. Supposedly Trump's... I read two articles. I read a big story yesterday on Trump's cell phone that it's not coming, it's all bullshit, he's not refunding everything, and now I read an article on the business section of CNN that it's going to start shipping tomorrow. I wouldn't buy that phone if I were you folks, because it's going to be loaded with stuff you don't want. Very sophisticated tracking services and whatnot will be in there, and you will be tracked the rest of your goddamn life for that. You know, everything you do, because nobody uses. See, I use a computer. 90% of the people out there apparently don't use computers. My wife doesn't even remember how to use this computer. She uses her phone for everything. You know, and if she ever gets hacked, well, I'll be screwed, but she'll be done. You know? Oh, God. Sorry, but I have a very, very painful hip. And I don't know what it is, and just keep waiting for the x-ray to find out. I got an idea what it is, and it's not going to be something I want, but, you know, what are you going to do? Sooner or later, it's all going to end. AI is in the news again. There's a guy that's trying to start an island with what they call a micro-government, and it's all going to be done by AI. That should prove disastrous in the long run. But you know my feelings about AI, all right? It could be helpful if it's used properly and contained. But the problem is nobody's containing it. They're turning it loose. And every time it gets a little looser, it gets into more stuff. You can't stop it once it starts from spreading. I mean, it's not something that they've learned how to shut off very easily. You know, that's the problem. They won't tell you that. But AI is very, very hard to shut down. All right, even at this stage. So life should get very, very interesting. Now, you all saw Trump in China, right? I told you the story yesterday. He wouldn't even wave to the kids that were there supposedly to greet him. I don't think they were, because they were all watching. I don't know, Zai, however he pronounces his name. I don't think he's a total putz, but it doesn't have to be. He's smarter than Donald Trump. That's all you have to understand. The Chinese have been masters of negotiation for 1,000 years longer than we have, probably. They've studied the human face, body language, all these things. They've been studying them a lot longer than everybody else has. So, I don't know what I can tell you there, except that there was no deals reached that anybody's talking about anyhow, which is kind of a wasted trip, really. But then look who's there. It's Musk, another big, I forgot the guy's name, but there's another big executive from companies, and Eric Trump was there. All right, so basically what this trip to China for Donnie was, it's supposed to be a diplomatic trip and was paid for by the United States, was a free paid business trip for some assholes. Eric is the biggest one, all right? I mean, he's not a diplomat. He's a business investor. He likes to think he's as good as Trump is at making those kind of deals. Well, maybe he is, but if he is, then you know that one of these deals aren't really any good for the American people. You got a yes man running the Fed now, so we'll have to see if that's going to create more problems. Donald is proving to be less of a negotiator and more of a desperate man trying to pull some stuff together. He doesn't know how to handle international affairs. He may know how to make an international business deal, okay, better than me. Probably does. But he doesn't know anything about international affairs. And one of the things that I've learned is that the Arab countries, as well as China and whatnot, these other countries that are much older than we are, and are still, to some degree, still tribal in a lot of respects, including China, really. They turn around and negotiations are just, we have no idea what's going on. We get outplayed at every turn. Especially when you take a man like Trump that has no idea what he's really doing, but thinks he knows what he's doing. That's the most dangerous situation you can possibly be in. The man who thinks he's an absolutely genius at deal making is dealing with some of the greatest deal makers in the history of the world. That's just wonderful, folks. We're headed for big trouble. It's only a matter of time. As it stands right now, the election could happen. The election is 2 years away, a little over 2 years away. Midterms are, is that right? Wait a minute. This is 2026, and there's 2028 is the election, so it's about 2 years. Midterms are coming up in a few months, which won't make any difference. Trump will probably declare martial law and cancel him, as I've said before. There's no way he's going to win anything. Or if he's really lucky, he'll maintain such a slim margin of majority that it will become a negotiation point. And you know how that works for him. Of course, the Democrats are the worst negotiators in the world. because they're trying to. They don't understand the whole situation. I don't understand the whole situation. Don't get me wrong. I'm not sitting here saying I know what to do and we should do this, we should do that. I just know that they don't understand the word negotiate. You know, Trump doesn't understand it. He comes in with, he's always been able to bully people in business world and everything place else, and it's not something I think he's really truly capable of anymore. He's very slow-witted right now, and I don't think he's an effective president anymore. So that, but I also don't think that Vance is either, because Vance doesn't understand world affairs at all. You know, there is a story going around that on the celebration this July 4th of 250th anniversary of our country, that Trump is going to declare this country a Christian something or another, which is great, but it's going to cause civil war. And there goes the 2028 election. If he can't get rid of the midterms, he's going to get rid of the 2028 election, because there's going to be a civil war. And he is mistakenly under the impression that the military will follow him without question. With what he's done to the generals and to the general staff, and how he's treated the military by putting Hegseth in command, it's very unlikely that the military will follow him blindly. So they're going to have to, pardon me, come up with some other situation to handle it, you know, and I don't know what they can do with that. But we have had some dangerous people floating around. I don't really believe he's getting rid of Stephen Miller. I think he's trying to take the spotlight off Stephen Miller. Stephen Miller made the mistake of getting very, very much into the spotlight recently. And he's supposed to be his covert operations guy in the political world. You know, how he, that's what Trump thought he was, and he's trying to steal the spotlight. And you have to understand, if you work for Donald Trump, don't try to be more Trump than he is. You know what I mean? Don't go around giving all these press conferences, expounding his points of view or whatever, or what you think are his points of view, because he doesn't like that. And he's still president, and as president, he still has power, because there are a lot of people that are afraid for their jobs. So there's a lot of people that will take Stephen Miller apart. I don't think you can. I think Miller's pretty well entrenched there. I don't know what they can do, but it's not going to help any, because he's just going to take... I think what he's trying to get Stephen Miller to do is to go back into the caves or whatever he came out of and start working from there like he did in the past, and not do what he's doing, you know, sitting around mouthing off and everything, you know. I think what Trump wants him to be is just the backstabber that he's always been, sitting in the dark, you know, waiting to spring out and attack somebody or order the attack on somebody, you know, from behind the scenes, coming out in the front like he has been lately. Competes with Donald Trump, and Donald Trump doesn't like that. And I don't think the rest of the Republicans like it either. All right, now we're going to see if this video actually worked today. I know I'm sort of scatterbrained all over the place, but believe it or not, I have a really bad hip, and I'm very uncomfortable right now. But we'll see what happens with that down the road. I'm waiting for an X-ray. I've been waiting about 4 weeks now. That's Columbia, you know. You have to be, one of the things about Columbia's emergency services that I know for sure is that I'll never live to see the hospital. Anyhow, guys, that's it for me for today. I hope you get to see this. I hope you can comment on it. I honestly don't know what's going on. I can't. Everything checks out fine. I might be looking for another service other than YouTube, but you'll find out about that. Don't worry about it. In the meantime, take care. Hit the subscribe button. Maybe that'll help me. If I'm a more powerful person I am, then maybe they'll pay more attention to me. And I'll see you guys in a little while on the live channel, and what's today? Friday, and tomorrow on this channel. Take care, folks.